In a short while, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to address the nation on the national state of disaster. And SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeje is at the Union Building. So for us and joins us again now. Mzwandile, of course, the clock is ticking, inching closer to that address by the president. And a lot of sentiment coming through from some of the viewers tonight. They are hoping to see an end to, the wearing of masks, but also the other industry, Mzwandile, that is going to be watching this very keenly is the tourism sector. It's been hardest hit by COVID-19, and I'm sure they're waiting to hear about something when it comes to those PCR tests for tourists.
Oh yes, thanks again, Bongi. We all are waiting really to hear what the president will say. We did indicate earlier that he last spoke to us last year. I think it was on the 28th of November. And of course, he couldn't speak to us in December. He himself contracted COVID, but obviously he's fine. And with me, perhaps to share a bit more light is the acting spokesperson of the president, Cyril, who will be able to actually confirm that the president is going to speak to us tonight. Mr. Cyril, the president at 8 will be speaking to the nation, right?
He will indeed. As you say, it's been a while since the family has met, but of course it's also been our hope and our expectation that more family members went for vaccination during this period since the president last spoke, so that we can broaden the level of health safety in the country in order for us to lead lives that are more productive, freer in terms of personal movement, etc. And this evening is an opportunity for the president to update us on where we are today and what the short to medium term future looks like in our management of this pandemic.
And of course, I know you can't give so much away because that is not your area, but I'm sure you can let us in a little bit, given what we've been observing as a nation, that the numbers are going down and then the deaths have really gone down. So which gives some hope that the economy can go back again. Also, there's an issue in Europe, that war in Ukraine, perhaps all those factors will be taken into consideration. So could we get a bit of a sense of positivity? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Well, I think we should leave positivity for the president to manage this evening. I think the president has said on a number of occasions over the past few weeks that we really would like to get out of the national state of disaster, but that there are certain foundation blocks that we need to put in place for us to reach that milestone and for us to ensure that we continue to focus on safety as individuals and as communities, as a nation as a whole, so that on the basis of safety, we can have the kind of life we remember from 2.5 years ago.
What is the general sense in government, not necessarily the president alone, in terms of the vaccinations? I know they're still happening, but they've slowed down. Is it not a bit of a concern? Many people need to go for the boosters, but given the fake news, given the conspiracy theories doing the rounds, I'm sure it's put a bit of a damper.
Well, I'm not sure about damper. I think the one damper we have seen has been the slowdown in infections, slowdown in deaths. And I think that those achievements were hard won, and we can't let up. We need to ensure that we fight for safety, that we maintain safety. And so the key, as the president indicated yesterday at the Human Rights Day commemoration, he said that vaccination remains our greatest defense. And it's something that we need to work towards achieving even higher percentages of South Africans who are vaccinated. And the president himself made the comparison with Europe, where he said that in many of those countries they were able to move to a greater sense of personal freedom and economic activity because of the high rate of vaccination. And I think that that is a call to action that all South Africans should internalize.
Any suggestion towards mandatory vaccination? I know you can't announce anything, but we are trying to find out what's in the president's mind right now.
I think the start is that the mandate must be internal. that we must say we want to protect ourselves as individuals, as households, as communities, as lecture halls, as workplaces. And I think that is a responsibility that we must take very seriously as community members and as individuals. And then I think government will continuously consult with various sectors of society to see what the best arrangements can be in our economy to ensure that we achieve the required levels of vaccination that will create safe conditions for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sil.
Thank you.
Well, Bongiwe, that was the acting presidential spokesperson, Tyrone Sil, basically saying the president on a number of occasions has hinted that at some point the state of national disaster must go because we have to go back to the normalcy. But of course, we can't be reckless if some of the measures are not in place to make sure that it doesn't spread. I'm sure he will tread very carefully. But in less than an hour, Bongiwe, so the president will be here, will update the nation on what exactly he has come up with together with his collective.